Okay, dear all, we can start, I think. Let me first introduce our speaker today. Welcome, dear virtual ERC participants, members, our active dedicated members. Welcome to our virtual arena. Today we have a speaker, Abdullayev Muhammad, is dedicated educator and a language enthusiast, born in 1999, and he embarked on his academic journey in 2006 and later pursued higher education at Bokhtar State University, named after Nosiri Khusrau, majoring in English language. Graduating in 2021, he is currently pursuing a master's degree at the same institution. Mr. Abdullayev joined English Without Borders in 2023 and actively participated in English Without Borders Master Workshop Summer 2023, and he had on the training promoting love for reading books. His commitment for sharing knowledge is evident in his role as a speaker of the English Without Borders Online English Club in September 2023. With a wealth of experience in teaching English, Mr. Abdullayev has worked as an English language teacher at a language center Swartapa from 2019 and 2021, and currently Mr. Abdullayev is working as an English language teacher at Language Learning Center Donish in Kushonyon District, Khatlon region. Welcome, Mr. Abdullayev, to our virtual ERC cultural arena. And thank you for accepting our invitation to share your knowledge about nurturing love in reading throughout the life. I hope this will be interesting for you. For those who like reading books, please feel free to ask questions at the end of the session. Thank you very much.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Abdullayev Muhammad, and I'm so excited to talk with you today about the joy of reading. So the topic of today is nurturing a love for reading throughout your life. As we can get from the headline, today we're going to talk about reading a lot and how to love reading books and how to nurture the love for reading books. Hope we will have a great time together. So let's start. So the first question is, why do we read? Why do we have to read books, right? So there is a point in everything. So we go to the gym. Why do we go to the gym? Because we want to keep fit. We eat healthy food because we want to be healthy. And there should be a reason for everything that we do. Of course, it is true about reading also. So why do we read books and why should we read books? So there are some reasons I can share right now, and also later you can just share your ideas. So number one, reading opens our minds to new ideas, okay? So it gives new ideas. Imagine we have some books here, so I will present these books later, but now let's see. So imagine here we have some books, right? So there are different books, a lot of books in different areas and in different subjects, right? And for example, about business, about engineering, about medicine and everything. So when you read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books, from each book that you read, you get an idea, you get something, a piece of information or something. So maybe the ideas in the book is not about you, is not for you. But when you get a piece of information from each book that you read, at the end, it helps you to create your own idea, right? By sitting and thinking, we cannot just get the ideas. There should be a source of information. There should be something that we could get the idea. And the source of information is, of course, in books. When you read books, from each of the books that you read, you get an idea. And then you can create your own idea. So then helps us understand different perspectives. Reading helps us understand different perspectives. So what does it mean? It means you read books, right? Stories, novels, or maybe romance or business books about different things. So you read about the king, you read about the businessman, you read about a doctor or something, and you feel yourself, you put yourself in somebody else's shoe, right? You can see the point from each person's inside. You can find out what do they think, or what did they think about when writing the book. So let's us escape into new worlds. When you read books, you usually forget the problems that you had, the stress that you had during the day, and of course provides comfort and relaxation. So it's scientifically true that when we read books, so it reduces the stress. So at work, at school, at home, everywhere you get a lot of stress, right? But when you read books, it reduces stress. You forget about your problems. You dive somewhere else. You forget about your problems, and it reduces your stress. So I have a habit of reading books. For example, before I go to sleep, before I go to bed, I read books. So sometimes I have so much stress and problems that I can't sleep. You turn to your left, you turn to your right, and then you can't sleep, right? But as soon as I open and read some sentences or some pages, I start falling asleep. Why? And I think a lot of people have this issue, right? So as soon as you start reading, you start sleeping. And that's why it's scientifically true that when you read books, it reduces the stress and you feel comfortable, right? It gives you some relaxation, and then you can go to sleep. So if there are any ideas, maybe you have something else, there is a different reason for reading books. If you have some, you can share, please. Why do we read books, or why do you read books?
Hi, my name is Fura Khairulova. I'm from Tajik State Pedagogical University, Dushanbe. I think that we read books, it depends on the language. If we want to improve our, for example, foreign languages, we read books, and it also depends on the level of the book. The first and the main thing that if we want to improve our language skills, we read books. And develop our, develop our speaking skills, and also to develop.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And also to get information, right?
Yeah.
Read book to get information, to increase our knowledge.
Okay, thank you so much. So anybody else who wants to share?
May I?
Yeah, of
Hello,
course.
I'm from Fujian State University. My name is Nigora. Okay,
Nice to meet you.
I think that yes, the reading helps us to gain our knowledge firstly, and the second, we just regarding by booking and according to our ideas. If we read a lot, we improve our word outlook. Yes, and of course, and fantasy.
Thank you so much.
I want to join, yes? Yes, for example, if we encourage our students or our children to read books, we want them to like to improve their speech. When they read a lot, their speech become very beautiful. They can create everything. If you want, if they want to say something in audience, they can do it easily.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And also we have in our faculty, we have the day of home reading. The students can read the text which was given from the teacher. Yes, then the next day the students come and tell the meaning of the text which they read. And also they can learn more vocabularies from the text.
Yes, thank you so much. That's amazing.
Reading is useful for everyone, I think, not only for students and also for teachers.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. That's
As
true.
I like reading because I can imagine the author's feeling. For example, when we read the love story or comedy or anything else, just we can imagine that, we can pretend that we were in his place, how he felt himself.
It's like an
Mhm.
adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing your ideas. So-
Thank you. I am Avcılar from Boktar State University. I would like to bring one quote from Dr. Seuss. The more thing you read, the more you will learn. The more that you will learn, the more places you will go. This is my favorite quote, and I would like to mention that when we read, by reading books, we strengthen our knowledge, and by strengthening our knowledge, we can go to many places, we can participate to many conferences. And also we can go for our strengthening knowledge, we can go abroad.
Yeah.
And we can share what we learn, what we read from our books.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing your ideas. We heard a lot, yeah. So now, as we can see, there are a lot of reasons we read books. So now let's move to next thing. So the power of reading. First of all, a lot of students, especially my students, or a lot of people ask me, why should we read books? Why do we have to read books? They don't find reasons, right? Why do we have to read books? So the first thing about the power of reading is reading expands our minds and language learning and knowledge, right? How does it expand our minds? It doesn't matter what kind of book we read, but it affects our personality, it affects our character or behavior. So for example, I read a book about business or about different things, and how did it help me in my teaching career? So I remember it was about 2 or 3 years ago, I read an information, a book. The book title was 80-20 Principle. So it was about business, of course, but how did it help me in my teaching career? I want to share with you. So as the name suggests, so it was 80-20 principle. So it was in 19th century, a scientist from Italy, if I'm not mistaken, wanted to just check at 100% of people living in the country and divided the 100% of wealth and money that the country had, right? 100% of people and 100% of the wealth of the country. And he, after checking this idea, he came to an idea. He realized that 80% of the wealth of the country belonged to 20% of the people. Okay, 80% of the wealth was owned by 20% of people, and 80% of people had only 20% of the wealth. And that's why he called it this 80-20 principle. And after this, they checked this discovery in different countries, in European countries, and they got the same results. So, and how did this idea help me in my teaching career? So after reading this, I came to an idea that we have 100% of the language and 100% of the time we speak the language, right? So, and after checking, it is my idea. I'm not sure if it's true for you or not. You can share your ideas later. So after checking, I realized that, and I came to an idea that, so there is 80% of the language that we use, and 100% of language that we use, and 100% of the times that we use the language. So, and in our everyday life, so in 80% of the times that we speak, we use only 20% of the language, right? So it's everyday things like go, come, bring, do, buy. So in 80% of our everyday speaking, we use only 20% of the language. And 80% of the language that we learn we can use them only in 20% of the time. So it's like learning present perfect tense, past perfect, yes. So we use all these things in 20% of the time. And then right now, as a teacher, I'm focusing on 20% of the language that we can use in 80% of the time. Right? So, and next is improves empathy, understanding others. So when you read a lot of books, when you read books a lot, it improves your empathy. You can understand others' feelings. You can understand other people's, how to say, situations. Yes, of course. So, and reduces stress. So as we have mentioned before, it reduces your stress. Yeah, you forget about your everyday problems and things. So, and enhances creativity, imagination, and ideas. So when you read books, you become more creative, right? And you get more ideas. You create more ideas from yourself. So is there anyone who wants to share his or her ideas? Yeah, about the power of reading, please. Do you agree to these things said here? Please feel free.
Hello, everybody, guys. Hello, dear teachers. I'm from Bofta State University, and I would like to share my opinion about reading books.
Please,
I
welcome.
totally agree with you, teacher. Yet that you said that if somebody reads a lot of books, that he will be big-minded. You know, he will be good creator. When you read a lot of books, that you will find out the various kind of ideas from that books. You will be motivated, and also it will help to find solution with the difficult problems. And at all, we can say you will be solver of problems, and you will be creator. That was my opinion about reading books.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And I totally agree with you, teacher.
So do you have any ideas? I mean, do you remember what books had a great effect on you, impact on you? And so what kind of solutions did you find to your problems from the books that you read, please?
Yeah, I think a month ago, I read Atomic Habits. Do you remember the book Atomic Habits?
Yeah.
It's really impressed me, and I'm like making my good habits and reducing my bad habits from that book, through reading that book, and it helped me in so many ways.
Yes, thank you so much. So anybody else?
Hello again, everyone. I'm
Hi.
Salahuddin from Rasht. Actually, as we know, everybody can read a book, but for example, we should read a book. It affects to our life. For example, something is necessary in our working field.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much.
Can I?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Look, you just today, yes, chose a really interesting topic. I congratulate you.
So
it's so big, yes, huge issue for human, I think. And I want to share with my one practice. One day, yes, one evening, it was really late, and I want to just read the series of Sherlock Holmes book, and just was a story about one year's investigation which Sherlock Holmes has found the killer, and it was so scaring for me. It was so late evening, and just the whole night I was in scare and sleep, yes, and my dream was kind of, and how just impressed me, yes. Look how just it was the worse, yes, the worse than watching just a film, yes, and look how the reading and books has an important role in our life and impress us. Okay.
Thank you so much. Yeah, very good. So anybody else?
May I ask one question?
Yeah, sure, go.
For example, we are all English teachers, you know, we are all English teachers. We know it's very necessary to read some books, but how many books do we need to read? For example, a month. How many books do we need to read?
Do we need or we read or
Yeah, that's a really good.
How many?
Yeah, that's a really good thing. So, we will talk about this later, but there is no just a number to read books, how many books you should read. So it should be your habit, okay? So maybe 1 page a day, 2 pages a day, but you should keep the process, right? It's not about when you read 10 pages one day and then you stop for 10 days. You should read 1 page. You should just continuously do this. And by doing this, it helps you to have a great mind. Yeah. It's just, it keeps the process, you know. It's not important how much you read. The thing is the more important thing is that have a habit of reading. I'm going to present 2 books here. So number 1 is Show Your Work by Austin Kleon, 10 ways to share your creativity and get discovered. And the next is The Rules of Life by Richard Templer. So let's talk about the first one here. So why I'm going to present these books and how did these books help me in my personal life and in my teaching life. So the first one, Show Your Work, I have the book right now here with me. So after reading this book and before reading this book, I'm going to give you some information. So before reading this book, I had an idea to create my YouTube channel, So here it is. So I had an idea to create my YouTube channel, but I didn't have enough courage, okay? I didn't have enough courage to start my YouTube channel, and I was scared. Scared of what? Scared of what do people say about me? What do people think about me? My relatives, my neighbors, my friends, my course mates, from society, of course. So I was really scared. But after reading this book, as the name suggests, Show Your Work, I changed my mind. I got the courage to start my YouTube channel. So, and here it says, so it's not about, my YouTube channel is not about getting likes or good comments, right? So I have a purpose right now, what to do with my YouTube channel. So why did I start my YouTube channel after reading this book, and how did this book affect me? So number 1, my YouTube channel is my assistant, okay? It's my assistant. So how? For example, I teach something here. Let's talk, let's say present simple. I teach my students in the classroom, and then I ask them, if you go home, you can watch the video about present simple again and improve your knowledge about this grammar. So the next lesson, when they come, if they watch it, of course, now they have a better understanding of present simple. Number 1, it's my assistant. So number 2, it's a great fun. It's interesting. Sometimes I put the grammar or the lesson from YouTube in the classroom, and also I am there. So there will be 2 teachers in 1 classroom, right? I pause the video and I give some more information. Then I start the video again. It will be more interesting. So number 3, so by my YouTube channel, I can go to everybody's house, right? You make 1 video and thousands of people can watch your video. You make 1 lesson and thousands of people can watch your lesson. So let's take, there is a group of 12 students. You teach once and only 12 students can learn. But by this way, by doing my YouTube channel, I make one video, but I get a lot of results. Thousands of people can watch and learn from it. So yeah, I have a good purpose. So I want to quote, I want to say a paragraph. What does the book say and how does it help us in our session today? So number 3, way number 3 to show your work is share something small every day, or do something small every day. So yeah, we can come back to the questions that you asked. How many books should we read in a month, or how many books should we read in a year? So share something small every day, or do something small every day, right? So as the name suggests, overnight success is a myth. You cannot be successful in one day or in 1 month. Dig into almost every overnight success story and you will find out a decade's worth of hard work and perseverance. Okay? If you think a person became successful in 1 day, it's just a myth. It's not true. If you dig, if you just look for, you can find out that he worked on that area maybe for 10 years or more, right? So this book has a lot of illustrations, right? It has a lot of pictures that when you read and you look at the illustrations, you find what the author wants to tell you. So here, look, this is something small that you do in 1 day. There is a little spot, if you can see, right? In 1 day. And by doing something small and sharing something small a day, in 1 month, you can get this result, right? Yeah. Yeah. So, and then by doing something small every day, this is the result that you get in 1 year. Yeah. So it's not about how many books you read, it's about keeping process, taking small steps, right? So it's not only about teaching, right? Doctors can use this book, engineers can use this book, everybody can use this book, yeah. So here are 10 ways to share your creativity and get discovered, right? So even, so I remembered one fact that before writing this book, before publishing this book was just some comments, some ideas, and some tweets, right? So when Austin Kleon collected all these ideas, step by step, filling all the information, he created this book, he published this book. This book was just small sentences or comments. So so book number 2 is The Rules of Life by Richard Templer. So there are more than 100 rules here. Rules for you. Rules for you, rules, partnership rules, family and friend rules, and social rules. Maybe some of these rules are not for you. Maybe some of them are not for me. But when you see the difference, you get an idea, here it says this, and the correct one for me is this. You create your own idea for yourself, right? So, and let me note something here for you. Rule number 10 says, only dead fish swim with the stream. Only dead fish swim with the stream. Life is difficult, and the rule is to thank God it is so. It was full all fluffy, and if it was all full fluffy and easy, we wouldn't be tested, tried, forget in the fire of life. We wouldn't grow or learn or change or have a chance to rise above ourselves. It was, if life were a series of lovely days, we would soon get bored. yeah, it will get boring for you, right? Every day, something nice, something interesting. There are ups and downs in life that we understand, black and whites that we can find the difference. Look at the difference. If there was no rain, then there wouldn't be any feeling of great joy when it finally stopped and we could go to the beach. If it was all easy, we couldn't get stronger, right? Yeah. So now, thank you so much for listening. I will also share the PDF of this book, and so that you can download and read it. I really suggest these two books for you. So, and these two books, of course, helped in my personal growth and my, professional growth. So, and then I started my YouTube channel. So my YouTube channel, the name of my YouTube channel is Muhammad from Donish. Of course, yesterday I started my Instagram channel. So I'm going to share more videos, and I have a purpose. It's not just, hey, I made my YouTube channel, go write comments and like my video. I have a purpose. And if I make my YouTube videos, let's take for 3 years, I'm not doing big, I'm doing small. It's 8 months now, but I have only 10 videos. It's not a lot, but in 3 years, maybe I will have 50 videos or 40 videos, 40 video lessons. And then by doing something small every day, so you will have a great thing, something big, So anyone who wants to share his or her ideas, about these two books, if you saw them somewhere, if you read them, please feel free to talk.
Hello, everyone. Can I share my opinion about these books?
Yes, of course.
I'm Parvina from Khujand. We are listening with my students. They are all happy to have this session. So
Thank you.
We have decided to take Show Your Workbook by Austin Kleon. And we're going from today's lesson to take one more story and read and retell in order to improve our speaking skills and creative thinking. Thank you very much. They are all great books.
For student listening and for competition for Kitobas in 2024. So, and I become the winner. And from reading books, I think it's developed our brain. So it changed our mind and our character too from reading books, because books always help. It's helping friend for us.
Yes.
So thank you for the presentation, and I will you share your books, the books from to improve English, to improve life, to improve our work.
Everything is difficult to start. The first step is the most difficult step, right? When I start a new book, maybe this will help you later. So the first page you open, you will face maybe 50 new words or 40 new words. But this book is about life. Remember that all the book is going to be about life. You're going to learn words and vocabularies about life throughout the book, from the beginning to the end. It means that the vocab that is new for you in the first page might appear in maybe 10 or 15 more pages. That's why the first pages are difficult. You read, you learn the vocab, and then after reading some pages, you will not face any new words. Right? Okay. So why reading matters in the digital age? This is a question here. I'm going to give some information first, and then you can share your ideas. So why reading matters in the digital age? The technology and internet is so advancing that reading books is not important. Not for everybody. For some people, it's not important anymore. So why reading matters in the digital age? So I'm going to tell you 2 reasons. and then you can add your ideas if you want later. So number one, when you want to get information from the internet, you Google it and you find maybe hundreds or thousands of information, right? It gives you a lot of information. And there is no guarantee that the information that you get, the source of information that you get, the information is true. Anybody can share his or her ideas there. You might get the wrong information. But what about the books? Before publishing the book, some doctors and PhDs will check your book and then give permission. It means the information that you get from the book is true, because people check it first and then give permission to publish. But on the internet, you're not sure. There's no guarantee that you get the correct information, the right information. And reason number two, why I prefer reading more than using the internet. So reason number two is, when you, as I mentioned before, when you Google an information or search something on the internet, you get thousands of information. For example, I wanted to find some quotes about reading. I searched it and it gave me thousands of quotes. And it's difficult to choose between among all those quotes, right? So I looked at this one, I looked at that one, first one, second one, third one, and I lost a lot of my time. I wasted a lot of my time by just choosing. And when there is too much information, your brain cannot digest it. Your brain cannot digest all the information that you get. You look at this one, you look at that one, you check this one, you check that one. And after maybe 2-3 hours, you think you don't have anything. But what about the book? The book has a beginning and the end, right? Which means when you read it step by step, your brain can digest what you read. You can get the ideas. So thank you so much for listening. If you have any ideas, please share. If you agree or disagree.
Yeah, hello, dear colleagues. Muhammad, thank you very much for your information about good books, for reading. And you are right, and we confirm that for advising somebody for reading some books, useful and usage of this books, we should first of all we should read it and be aware from the characteristics of the books and benefits of the books, and then we can advise it. And one thing just in your title showing that how we can improve or advise for teenagers to use for reading books. I think that as a teacher we should read ourselves, improve our knowledge, and then advise for students. Yeah, you are right, as you just showed us. So
okay. Thank you so much. Anybody else? I didn't understand. I didn't just hear, I think. Can you repeat your question, please? Was it a question or an advice? I didn't hear. Okay, let's move to the next step. So building a growth mindset for reading, right? So there are some people who usually try to find excuses, right? When you suggest or when you ask them to read books. So there are like, I hate reading, or I do not understand this text, or there are too many big words to read, or this book is too long. So can you just turn these statements into positive ones? Any of them, please.
If someone say I hate reading, how you can turn this fixed mindset into the growth mindset?
I love reading.
I love reading. Yeah.
If somebody, your student, for example, you give a book to read, and you say, teacher, I hate reading. How you positive sentence you will give to him?
So yeah, maybe your student, maybe somebody else asks you when you just suggest to read books, he or she uses one of these ideas, one of these statements, and how should you or can you turn the all these are negative statements.
I don't understand this text yet.
Okay, I don't understand this text yet, but yeah, after reading, yeah, you get new ideas, right?
Maybe you had a very difficult book. Maybe that's why you hate books, but not all the books are bad.
Yeah.
Maybe you had a bad book, but there are so many good books. Don't hate books.
Of course.
I will give you one good book. Try with this. It's like advice you give. Yeah.
Okay, so let's see some positive statements to these negative statements. So I hate reading. And this is the positive, these are the positive statements. Yeah, you can say to your students or readers, I hate reading. I'm still learning to enjoy reading. I'm looking for books that I'll find interesting. Maybe you didn't have an interesting book so far. I want to discover the joy of reading. So maybe you didn't find the joy of reading yet, and you have to find it. I do not understand this text. You can turn it into positive. I'm curious to learn more about this topic. I'm going to explore the different ways to understand this text. This text is challenging me to learn something new. When you don't understand something, it's a chance, it's an opportunity that you will learn something new, okay? There are too many big words to read. Positive ones. I'm expanding my vocabulary. If you find new words, big words, it means you have an opportunity to learn new words, to learn new vocabularies. I'm learning new and interesting words. I'm developing a deeper understanding of language. This text is too long. I'm breaking down this text into smaller and more manageable chunks. I'm taking breaks to avoid feeling overwhelmed. I'm developing my reading endurance. Okay, let's move. So make reading a habit. Start small, 10 minutes a day, maybe 5 minutes a day. The person who you are right now, changing is difficult. Changing yourself is difficult. Changing your character is difficult. Your behavior is difficult. Why? Because I'm 25 years right now, and the person who I became in 25 years, I cannot just change in overnight. Right? It's difficult. So, and by making reading a habit, by reading small, by 5 minutes a day or maybe 10 minutes a day, you start changing. So keep books handy, always within reach. So this is also important. For example, you're in your bedroom and your book is in the living room and you don't want to go to get the book again. And your book should be near you, somewhere you can reach it, maybe under your pillow or maybe next to your bed. Find your spot. Place is also important, quiet and comfortable. You should find a place that gives you relaxation from reading books. Join a book club. So what does it mean? You can find some people who are interested in the books that you're reading. For example, 2 or 3 people made from your family. I do this usually with my family. So with my brothers, we read some information and then we can discuss about it. So what did you learn from it? So when everybody shares his or her ideas, there would be more information. So anything else that you want to add here?
My apologize, Muhammad, for your
No, it's okay.
for your great session. We found in your session we found your suggestion about your books which you mentioned about. So we are using for reading. We are using in our classroom. We are using Readworks, which was given in the previous session. It is also very interesting for reading, doing activity and for reading. So that one also is very. So we will try to use also your suggestion, your methods also for reading with the students. So thank you so much for your session.
Yeah, thank you so much. And also another important thing, another important tip that I think it helped me. So when you read books, try to take notes. This is also important. When you read a book or a page, just get a piece of paper and write what you understood. And then you can improve your creativity. So for example, before I started my YouTube channel, I had only 3 ideas to make videos. But then I have a small notebook here with me. So, and then I started writing, okay? Whenever an idea came to my mind, I just wrote it here. And now I have 25 ideas here to make videos, to make lessons. So whenever you read something new, you understand something new, try to note it somewhere, try to write it down. Here we have some quotes, so which we want to talk about. Yeah, and then we can finish today's session. So when you nurture the inside, the outside will flourish. When you nurture the inside, the outside will flourish. What does it mean? So imagine there is a tree and you give nutritions, you give some vitamins, right? And do you give all these vitamins and nutritions to the fruit or to the root? Of course, to the root, right? You give nutritions, you give vitamins to the root, and then you see the result on the fruit, not on the root. And the same applies to reading. When you read more, you're nurturing yourself, you're nurturing your personality. And then after some time, it appears on your, the way you talk, the way you speak, on your character, on your behavior. You start changing, your personality starts changing also. So the next one that Malima mentioned before, the more that you read, the more things you will know. The more that you learn, the more places you will go. Yeah, this is interesting also. So Malima mentioned about this before. So third one is reading is to the mind what exercise is to the body. Just like the exercise is necessary for your body, reading is also important to your brain. So, and I want to note here something important before we finish. There are 2 types of food, right? 2 types of food, one mental and one physical that you touch. As soon as you become hungry, your stomach gets hungry, you automatically stand up, go to the kitchen or open the fridge to find something to eat. But what about the mental? When your brain is hungry, we people usually don't feel it, don't understand it. We neglect it. And so sometimes we have bad ideas. Sometimes we have some bad ideas come to our mind. And after some time we think, hey, why did I have this bad idea? So am I stupid or am I crazy or something? And this is the result of not giving your brain the appropriate food. This means that your brain is hungry. That's why you have to give something good. Brain is like an engine. It's like an engine. It never stops work. That's why you should give the proper food for your brain. If you don't give the proper food, your brain automatically goes and finds something and starts working on it. And that's why we have to give something good for brain so that the brain could work on it. So any ideas? Something you agree or disagree, or new ideas that you want to share?
Yes, we absolutely agree with you. The third one is my favorite because I always advise my students, yes, to how the people, yes, train their body, should train their mind too. And the only way is just reading, yes, writing and practicing and other thing. You're absolutely right. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, now thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've been inspired to embrace the joy of reading. I hope you got something from today's session.